Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here, way late after hours at the Jayco Las Vegas display, getting you some updates here for the 171 J Feather. Everybody and their brother makes a version like this, so what's J Feather bringing to the table? Well, first of all, double the warranty of basically anybody else. They changed their roof construction this year, specifically on the J Feather Micros, but instead of their traditional wood truss roof structure, they've gone to a fully aluminum framed vacuum laminated roof structure on this, very similar to like a rockwood, effectively. They did a ton of testing on it, and they found that it was capable of the exact same load-bearing capacity while sneaking a smidge of weight out of the product. And every little bit of weight you can peel out of the product expands your cargo capacity. So that's a major update they put in these. There's a bunch of little decor kind of touch items, like they went to a cloth touch decor instead of the leatherette that can crack and peel on you. And it has a Scotch Guard, basically, type application on it to help keep spilled Kool-Aid from soaking into the stuff, but you don't want to like test that too hard. We have an enclosed underbelly on this too, which is a rare feature. Goodyear tires. There's the ability to have TPMS here. It's 7.5 wide, but also has double propane tanks. It's also a cargo bunkhouse. When that thing folds up, the bottom bunk can move bunk, get out the way in a fashion that's ludicrous, essentially. You either pick up that joke or you don't. But you can even fit like 2 folding e-bikes in there, let alone a good grill or something like that. There's a lot of cool qualities that go into this. It's got a couple things you're probably like. I'm willing to bet some folks are not gonna like the way the front bed works out on this one. I'm gonna try to share good with bad with everything in between. If you appreciate that candid approach, hit that subscribe button and let's go. Like a kid with a birthday cake. We're gonna get in there, ladies and gentlemen. Notice the full window in the entry door. What's weird about this is they have the same thing in the bunk door, which does have a deadbolt for security, so some gas station murder hobo don't kidnap your kids. But the bunk window has a privacy shade. The primary front door window does not. I always thought that was kind of strange. Also, a little bit different, but they do it across the entire J Feather family. They give you a bigger vent fan, but they do it in the living room in a way that makes sense because this is the biggest cavity in the RV, so it needs the most airflow. And with the big windows and that big fan, you can get that airflow. That's not a problem. But the bathroom still has a small fan. Now, it could be argued that that's all you need in a small room, but no pun intended there. I think a lot of people still prefer the big fans. You know, it just all depends. Now, these use a full-size, full-power roof air. It's a Coleman Mach Q series, which is organically a little bit quieter, which is very important considering that is a non-ducted air conditioner, and they are organically a little bit louder. So, is it going to be absolutely 0 decibels? No. Is it going to be the loudest thing you're going to run into? Also no. That's all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry. This year they have one decor to rule them all, Lord of the Rings style. They still have 0 vents in the floor, which is something a lot of people like. And you see the big double drawers under the oven? I'll open those up for you later. But if you want, well, under the stove, if you want to, you can option an oven into it. What do you think about this new little stovetop vent hood? You know, it's still the same stovetop vent hood. It does the same thing that RVs have done for years, but I think it does it in a way that isn't like ugly and stupid looking. Speaking of that, when they cleaned up their decor last year, a lot of people used to feel the old farmhouse look was like dirty because it had like, I think it was called burnishing, where it sort of faded in right here. It always looked like you had to clean it off. Now it almost kind of looks like somebody just traced it with a Sharpie marker, which isn't the prettiest way of describing it. My wife will tell you I am not romantic with words, but it just looks nicer, you know. Now, the entertainment center on this, the TV over there, it's maybe not, I don't know how you could have done it better, because if you are stuck inside on a rainy day, it's just enough TV. It's a smart TV, by the way, to keep you entertained. You could have the kids over here, I don't know, entertaining them somehow or another, although with a lot of people still, you know, let their kids take their devices camping for rainy day purposes or whatever. That's probably how they'll spend your time. Maybe you are going to throw a big old pillow against the left side of the RV, the driver's side wall there, and just catch up on whatever show you're watching on Netflix. Whenever my young daughter's around, we always like to watch The Sopranos. That seems like very appropriate family video, he said very sarcastically, for anyone who's about to call Child Protective Services on me. That's just a joke. Anyway, this is good news, bad news. Bad news, it's a corner bed. So you're going to be crawling over one another. Good news, it's 80 inches long. So it's a full residential length. More bad news, it's only 54 inches wide. It's not a 60-inch wide residential queen size. They built this RV with a specific length target, and that length target greatly reduces the shipping cost on this RV. I can get into more details on that maybe in a separate video, or leave me a comment if you want better understanding of that. Essentially, though, they had to make a hard choice. So it's basically a long full bed or a narrow queen, however you want to kind of describe that. Basically, this is. Now, if you look over here, you got a handy little pop-up power pocket. You've got or power tower. It's very late. I mean, it's like midnight and I'm recording this. I'm very tired right now. I'm just trying to do my best to get you all the footage I can. You've also got a picture frame there with a picture that probably came in the frame, but a bunch of household outlets. Many of the household outlets in this RV are actually inverter prep. So if you want to run some of this stuff while you're just off battery power, well, you can do that. Now, storage in a family camper like this is tricky. You can see that they gave us space wherever they could. However, it's really interesting. The space under the bunks right there has gone through a couple iterations over the years. At one point, it had storage cubes, and one point it had, I think, netting. Now it's just two full-on cabinet doors with some serious wide open space under there. And I've recently become a cat dad in addition to being a human dad and a dog dad. So suddenly now, even though I wouldn't camp with my cat, I'm looking for places to put a litter box. And I wonder if that wouldn't possibly work down there. Now, here's the really interesting thing. My dog is also litter box trained, which sounds really funny. But if you think about it, it's no different than teaching them to go outside. It's kind of convenient to be able to leave for the day and leave food and water out and not have a dead dog when you come back. 5 stars would recommend a not dead dog because live dogs are much, much better. You get the idea, though. Anyway, I'm a pet father. That's the long and the short of what I was getting at. They changed their sink situation up a little bit this year. So it's got a cutting board cover, and it's thick enough that, don't get me wrong, I'm not a UFC welterweight champion with those mega hammer fists I was laying down, but it's solid. My point is, you come in with a heavy bag of groceries or something, and it's pretty solid. Actually, you know what? Those are 8.5 by 11 flyers, so printer paper sized flyers to help give you an idea of that the space in there. That was actually a handy unintentional demo. I'll take it. Remember, again, you do have a propane oven option down here, just not a. You have a convection microwave option as well, last I knew. Now, I haven't seen the 25 updates list, and if I have, I can't remember them because I'm tired, but you get the idea. Now, this is very, very interesting and very, very cool. A lot of bunkhouses do not come with any sort of ladder to, get the kids to the upper bunk. Now, a lot of kids can basically climb themselves up that thing. But look at this. You see this little bracket? It keeps this thing tight in place, but it folds up against the wall, and then it latches in place. Now, people will ask me all the time, what's the part number for that? Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry. I make videos. I don't have a parts number list or access to that, but our local parts teams, they can assist you with that stuff. I will tell you, it's not super barefoot friendly, but that could be because I weigh 220 pounds and not 60 pounds. Maybe if I was not so friggin' fat right now, it wouldn't hurt my feet so much, but hey, who knows? Separate curtains for the upper and lower bunks, 300-pound rated bunks, by the way. And I never remember, I see so many RVs, I cannot ever remember if they have power outlets and where they're located. Hey, look at that. All the way up in the head area, which makes a lot of sense now that I say it. Household and USB plugs, and a handy little cargo net stretchy pocket to keep the thing in place. That makes lots of sense. Now, here's an interesting thing. I said those are 300-pound rated bunks. That's for sleeping while the RV's at rest. If you want to pile cargo in there, they're only rated for 200 pounds. That the bouncing is violent, and that's the reason you don't want to put too much cargo in there. That's also literally the reason you should not strap crap like bike racks and your blue honey wagon tote tanks and stuff to your ladder. So as long as we're staring at me, here's your little PSA. Don't strap crap to the ladder because the bouncing action on the back of the RV will overstress the stanchions. Those are the horizontal bars that connect to your camper. And it will stress and pull the screws, break your seals. Now you've got a leak that you created. But a lot of people have never been told not to do that. So they're going to look at the RV manufacturer and go, this thing's crap. Well, it was used incorrectly. But nobody ever took the time to really tell a lot of people about that. So I understand why people do it. And I've had people say, well, what else am I supposed to do with my bikes? Not that. I don't know. It's just not what you do. Like, you don't strap bikes across the windshield of your truck. Even if somebody made a carrier to strap, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. Some people say, well, I have a carrier that attaches to the ladder. That doesn't make it right. It just means somebody made money off of you selling that object, You wouldn't, if somebody made a carrier to strap a bike across your windshield, you wouldn't do that either. I don't know. You know what? Now that I say that out loud, somebody probably would. Regardless, you can see that it's 6.5 foot tall because I'm a little over 6 foot stepping up into the shower. My head does go up into the bubble right there. Notice too, really, there was nice counter space and good elbow room around the toilet there in the bathroom. Sorry, I went on like a 12-minute bike rack tirade that I didn't mean to get into. Let's move on. So what's it going to take to tow this camper around? Well, I mean, a dually will do the job. But I don't think that exactly narrows it down, nor is that really helpful. A lot of tow package mid-size pickups or larger class SUVs could make a decent pairing for something like this. Like if you don't want to have to get a half-ton as your daily driver, you want a good tow package, I don't know, Ranger, whatever, that can do the job here. I'll tell you that if you're going to go up and down mountains, that vehicle's gonna work. It's gonna sound and feel, like in the cartoons when the car gets tired, it's going, it's gonna sound like that, basically. But, for general flatland towing, a mid-size pickup will get the job done. Decent front passenger. Notice the slam latches. That's also another nice little step-up feature that they've applied here. Next to that, there's also a black box that has your side marker light on it. That's a side camera prep mount. So if you do want to also put a full observation suite, side and rear cameras, basically, you can do that. Now, right above the wheel well, we have outside TV hookups and a little mount bracket. Down below, though, you might notice how there's the little fender flare. So this is interesting. The RV, the body, is 7.5 foot wide, but it still rides on an 8 foot wide axle. So if you want to argue, well, then it's 8 foot wide, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just gonna say, okay, that's fair. But the thing is that provides a little more stability. Think about it like this. If someone was gonna push you and try to knock you over, would you stand with your feet dead below your shoulders, or would you spread your feet out wider than your shoulders? That's the idea. It gives you a little bit better stability. Now, I am noticing this ladder sticking, like really long stanchions sticking way off the back of this thing. I think that was because the other ones don't have that. I think that was probably just an early prototype feature that we're looking at here. I don't think that's the intended ladder. It sticks out so far, I'm kind of worried about it getting over torqued and broken or something. Giving you another peek up top there at the roof. Again, very sturdy, very stable walk-on roof. You see the Coleman Mach Q Series air conditioner up there and the 200-watt solar panel. That's something you can expand on either from the factory or after the fact, DIY or at dealerships. Because the charge controller and the wiring on this, it is sufficient for expanding a little bit. Now, it's hard to see because it's black on black over here, but you do have a 2-inch receiver hitch off the back, which is more of a accessory type hitch. I forgot to mention over on the camp side of the RV, like just around the corner from that right-hand taillight, you do have a gas grill quick connect right there, and the little J-port kind of mounting table outdoor griddle station can be attached. Now, again, most of your windows are on this side. I don't love that, but it is done because it keeps this RV a little bit shorter. Could they put the windows on the other side? Could they give it a longer bed? Yes. It's gonna be longer, and it's gonna weigh more, and it's gonna cost more. And due to the way that RV shipping works, when you start doing doubles and triples hauling on a small camper like this, a lot of dealerships, their shipping costs on this camper could double or triple if this specific RV got a little bit longer. That's why this floor plan, even though it's single over single bunks, continues to be very popular, because it's one of the most cost-effective ways to make a very nicely equipped trailer. Now, normally I don't do this live on camera, but this has a ludicrous move bunk, get out the way, with a like little simple, easy auto latch over there. And look at the I mean, like even the bed decking, it's plywood topped, you know. This is, they don't use scrap material where you're not looking. Like everything on this is a prime material, which is nice. They also include some handy cargo tie-down rings. Remember how in the video began I mentioned I have personally test loaded 2 folding electric e-bikes, my 2.0 and my 3.0, into these things successfully. And it wasn't sketchy, it wasn't weird, it wasn't hard or difficult. It just worked, man. It got the job done. Oops, hold on real quick. Let me slowly redirect you the other way. Single sewer outlet, and you can see the shadowy silhouette of the sewer hose caddy tube that is also included on here. Full hot cold outside utility shower, 60,000 BTU tankless on-demand water heater. So what this is going to do is the water coming in from the spigot at the park, or the water in the fresh holding tank, it can raise the temperature of that up to 59 degrees, not 60, technically 59 degrees. So if you are camping early spring and late fall, when the water is organically colder, that more powerful water heater right there will be the thing that helps prevent you from taking the Chilly Willy shower endeavor. So thanks again for tuning in. I don't know if you're picking up on the echo and complete lack of all background noise. Like, they don't even have the air conditioning on in here. I'm in a basically a warehouse in Vegas at night for you, sweating to the oldies like Richard Simmons used to get you the footage today. So if nothing else, if you at least appreciate the effort, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this one. And as I always do, I'll leave you links in the description to check where we have one of these in stock. You can see how it's equipped and the exact pricing on that specific model, whether you're curious or serious, when you're ready. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.